Greetings, all praise the King, Hail Selassie Is, Rastafari. On this day, and I recognize the King's birthday. Give thanks now. And as a gift, the King presented speeches unto the eye, and this one given as a broadcast while the King was in exile in 1937. As we recalled, the British had attempted to use the King in their war campaign. And this Christmas Day speech was given. And I cover a section of when the Christ sacrificed himself for the atonement of sin, praying with last breath for the forgiveness of those who had tortured him, saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Shame on those who are called Christians and do not follow thy way. For if the people of the earth were to follow thy way, peace will reign. Instead, it is a fact of life that the spirit of the wicked continues to cast a shadow on the earth. The arrogant are seen visibly leading their people to crime and destruction. This is how they hide their oppression. It is the person who lights the fire on one side of town so that they can commit the crime on the other side. The 2,000-year-old civilization is threatened with destruction. If this happens, there will be a return to barbarism when the mighty could realize their aspirations at will. So that this does not happen, all peace-loving people shall unite to preserve and promote lawfulness and peace, the precious diamond. on the king's birthday in 1961 in reference to the revision from the ancient Ge'ez to the modern Amharic language of the Bible. The king wrote, Ethiopia is recorded in history as having received first the Old Testament and then the New Testament earlier than most of the countries, when in Old Testament times she received I law, and in New Testament I gospel. The king applied the practice of the feather nagast in accordance with our tradition, and believed that all laws should absolutely be equitable. As St. Paul says, where a specific law exists, try according to law, and where no law exists, try according to conscience. Justice is the fundamental axiom for the survival of freedom and government. Referring to the Christ, that man shall not live by bread alone, yet by thy spirit, is the word of King Selassie. A qualified man with vision, unmoved by daily selfish interests, will be led to right decisions by his conscience. In general, no Illuminati, something in my eye there. In general, a man who knows from where he comes and where he was going will cooperate. Vision. You see the leaders of the world today, and what vision do they have? Even they know where the ship is headed, and yet they fail to inform the public. Could it be that they're hiding? Could it be that the fact that they have secret laws make them illegitimate? The king believed in the international law. He viewed the United Nations as a forum where differing opinions could meet. Stated, as the maker and enforcer of international law, the United Nations has fallen short of its purpose. Does this organization today possess the authority or the will to act? If it does not, are we prepared to clothe it with the power to create and enforce the rule of law? Or is the charter a mere collection of words without content or substance, because the essential spirit is lacking? The time in which to ponder these questions all too short. People must become members of a new race, overcoming petty prejudice, owing ultimate allegiance not to nations, yet to fellow men, to fulfill the second command. The king practiced impartiality when the other nations sought to gang up to increase their power, therefore wealth. The king administered that each nation should operate fair and just. Non-alignment is no way anti-Eastern, anti-Western any more than anti-Northern or anti-Southern. neither anti nor pro in any absolute fashion, largely affirmative, not negative, standing for peace and freedom, for a decent standard of living for all, the right of people of any nation to adopt economic and political system which the majority of them freely elect to follow. It is the right of men and nations freely to take their stand on great issues of the day, their consciences, their sense of right and justice, and these alone dictate. Do not impose views by force. We have the power of moral persuasion. Our strength, a great strength, if we use it. If we use it. Jesus. Because the African people believe in the essential precepts of democracy. The king wrote in his letter to the parliament in Jamaica that through the process of assimilation that certain have become major powers all embracing. This must be what the king referred to as anti-democratic. This word, not the democracy that is practiced today, where it is anything but a majority rule. The address to the world in 1966. The king acknowledges the Christ faith being introduced even through way of Philip, and those that had consecrated and sacrificed for I faith, gave I faith. Power, strength, realization that we did not also spare our energy and treasure to develop the people's spiritual heritage, the value of which no human mind can assess. So, the king giving recognition that this faith is the foundation of the king's government, his rule, and being elected by the king's people, who did so freely by choice, and were not imposed or influenced by propaganda or other promotional campaigns. And yet, even if they were, they could not plant I seed. This age, above all ages, is a period in history when I shall be called to preach I gospel. The rich powers have passed on from exploring and exploiting the earth and are vying with each other to explore and conquer the moon and the planets. Knowledge is increasingly a bewildering matter. What will be the end of it all? The king asks. Only what Lord's will be done. All the activities of the children of men, which are not guided by I spirit and counsel of I way, will bear no lasting fruit. The king gives the parable of the rudderless ship, which is tossed to and fro until it crashes, and states that any soul without Christ is bound to meet the same fate. Bound to meet the same fate. Yes, fragmentation is contrary to the laws itself of nature. That our people shall join in one accord. I will read now from the chapter 12 of Revelation. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, pained to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. Her child was caught up onto a way, and a throne. The woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of thy way, that they should feed her there. And there was war in heaven. War in heaven. Mikhayahu and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Yes, that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world, was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation, and our strength, and the kingdom of thy way, and the power of thy Christ. For the accuser of thy brethren is cast down, which accuses them before thy Creator day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of thy Lamb, by the word of thy testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, heavens, and you that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows he has but a short while. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man. and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep I command, and have I testimony. At this time, I would like to acknowledge wayzaro Yashamebat, who is our King's mother, and gave birth to our Lord, the 10th child after the first had not survived. And even the King's mother, wayzaro, merely 30, passed while the king was yet to be 2 years old. Fulfillment of prophecy, a time to rejoice. Thanks, Rastafari is, and Rastafari always will be.
It is good that you are here to record this picture of me.